Hello everyone, welcome back to the part 2 of Dr.B.R. Ambedkar. In the part 1, I hope you remember whatever we did. What did we do? Yes, we learnt about how Dr.B.R. Ambedkar was a voracious reader, how he travelled all over and wherever he went, he took his fellow human beings and the classless society in his heart. So he got inspired by the 14th Commandment of the USA, which was for the black people. He thought he can help the Dalit in India. When he came to India, he saw Mahatma Phule doing the same kind of work. So he got inspired by him, and also he saw Gandhiji doing the same kind of work. He also got influenced and inspired by him. So in part 2, let's see what he does next. Also, he was the chairman of the drafting committee of India, correct? Okay, let's move on. As chairman of the drafting committee, Dr. Ambedkar anticipated every conceivable requirement of the new policy. What is conceivable? Think. So he was not just for name. Every policy that he put in, he used to think about it 100 times, okay? As he was the chairman, it was his duty to deliver the maximum benefit of the society. So he used to think about everything very properly. Everything he used to think more than 100 times. Drawing from the examples and experience of other nations and the distinctive needs of our own society, he raised brick by brick the magnificent edifice which now stands on the fundamental rights in the Constitution of India. You would have studied this in your civics, right? So, as you know, he had travelled all over the world. He had read so many books. So, with his examples and experiences, what did he do? He went all over in all the nations. So, from everywhere he picked up a good thing and came back. And brick by brick, that means one by one, line by line, slowly, 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 he started the magnificent edifice which now is the fundamental right in the Constitution of India. What are the fundamental rights in the Constitution of India? Right to equality, right to freedom. Right to equality is equality between all the castes, region, color. Right to freedom, anyone has the right to say their own thing. Right against exploitation, if you see anything wrong happening anywhere, you can object then. Right to freedom of religion, you are free to choose any religion that you want. Cultural and educational rights, there is nothing of a boundary of any education system. Right to constitutional remedies, anywhere if constitution needs a change, they can do it. So these are the fundamental rights and they were started by none other than Dr.B.R. Ambedkar, okay. There were, of course, other luminaries on the committee, like there were also other people who are luminaries, participants who are with you, like who were they? Aladi Krishnaswamy Iyer, K.M. Munshi and N. Gopalaswamy Iyengar. They were also with him, who also made vital contributions to the process of constitution making. You always work in a team. It is not always one person that works. There is always a team behind him. So all these people have helped Dr. B.R. Ambedkar to get the new system organized. But if there is one person who will be remembered as the pilot of the various provisions of the Indian Constitution, it will surely be Dr. Ambedkar. Now yes, all these people were there to help him throughout. Who is the pilot? Pilot here doesn't mean the pilot who drives the plane. Here pilot is the leader who is leading, who is taking everyone along with him. So who is the pilot here? Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Absolutely correct. It devolved. What is devolved? Be transferred or passed to somebody. It devolved on Dr. Ambedkar to explain. To explain to whom? To the assembly, with a combination of tact and frankness and utmost patience, the meaning and scope of the different provisions of the draft constitution. Now, as he was in a very responsible position, he had to explain all this to the committee in a very tactful manner. What is tactful? In a very organized manner. Frank, very, very frank, not lying but being very open, correct? So he had a lot of patience. He didn't want anyone to be hurt. So all these principles that he made were kept in mind, that it does not hurt anyone. So he was very, very proper and organized in passing on these constitutions to the assembly. Okay. He had the rare gift of unraveling the most complicated legal concepts in a language which the layman understood. Who's layman? The common class, the common man, us. Now these people are very well learned of all the rules and principles of the assembly. How do you get that point to the common man? Now Dr.B.R. Ambedkar had a beautiful gift where he used to convert it in such a way that even a common man would understand the most complicated legal concept. Anything complicated, now if a lawyer talks to you about anything legal, you will not understand, right? But if he gives you examples and makes you understand in a proper way, you will definitely understand. So, Dr. Ambedkar, aided by indefatigable constitutional advisor B.N. Rao, performed this task matchlessly. Indefatigable, you can break the words and learn. It means never giving up. Now, he had a person working with him. His name was B.N. Rao. Okay, I will tell you. Your teacher gives you a project to do, okay, and she tells all of you that you have to get a pair, you have to get a friend to work with you. Now, if you have a friend who's not interested in the subject at all, he doesn't want to sit and work with you, will you be able to give 100%? I don't think so. But if you have another friend who's equally interested as you working with you, won't you come first in the class? Absolutely. Both of you are well charged up and well educated about the concept. Obviously, you will get the prize. So, just like that, he also got advisor B.N. Rao working with him, who helped him matchlessly. So, both of them worked together very effortlessly. So, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar had a very clear perception of the mutuality of the three pillars of the state. What are the three pillars of the state? The legislature, the executive and the judiciary. Okay, these you must have learned in civics again. These are divided, the state is divided into these three concepts. He realized that the jurisdiction of each should be very clear. Everyone should understand it. And untrammeled, what is untrammeled? Okay, what is perception? First we will discuss that. Perception is the ability to see, hear, understand. So he wanted everyone to understand the three pillars of the jurisdiction. Okay, very, very clear. Perception of everyone can be different. Alright. Untrammeled, that means not hampered. It should be very clear and it should not be hampered by anyone. At the same time, he had the sense of the importance of the role of citizen. The main thing was the role of a citizen which played in his mind all through the time. He wanted the welfare of every citizen in the country. He worked towards it. The following observation he made is very significant. There are a lot of observations that Dr. Ambedkar had proven, but these are very important. The Constitution, what is the Constitution? It is a fundamental document. It is a full document. It is a document which defines the position and power of the three organs of the state, which are, what are the three organs of the state? The executive, the judiciary and the legislature. Underline these three in your book: executive, judiciary, legislature. Okay, very important. It also defines the powers of the executive and the powers of the legislature as against the citizens. What are the powers which belong to these? As we have done in our chapter dealing with fundamental rights. You remember you did fundamental rights in your civics? Exactly like that. In fact, the purpose of a constitution is not merely to create the organs of the state, but to limit their authority, because if no limitation was imposed upon the authority of the organs, there will be complete tyranny and complete oppression. What is tyranny? It means cruelty, unjust, oppressive rule, something which is not acceptable by the society. What is oppression? Oppression is bad rule or injustice. So there has to be a limit to everything. If we give the authority all the rules to make, they might be cruel too, right? So the purpose of a constitution is not merely to create organs, it is not only to make the rules, but also to limit the authority. So it doesn't go to a cruel manner. Jawaharlal Nehru. Yes, we have another social reformer here. Jawaharlal Nehru chose Dr. B.R. Ambedkar to be the first law minister of independent India. You have to remember this. He was the first law minister of independent India, which was 1947. This was a recognition of Dr. Ambedkar's skills in the field of law and legislation, as also a tribute to his vision of social justice, a vision which was sought to be infused into the new Indian polity. But all above, this was a tribute to the success of Baba Saheb Dr. Ambedkar's own campaigns against social injustice. Obviously, he had done a lot of campaigns against social injustice. His talent had to be recognized, was recognized by none other than Jawaharlal Nehru. Who did he make him? He made him the first law minister of independent India. Okay? Who could have dreamt that one born to a Mahar family would one day become not only a law minister but a lawmaker and be hailed as the modern Manu? Okay? Who will know that a man born in this kind of family will one day be the law minister? So your determination and your hard work can take you anywhere. It doesn't matter what you have or you don't have. It is your determination. Yes? So we have completed the part 2 of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Let's answer some questions. These questions are from the back of your book. You can open the page and do it with me. The page number is 35. Okay? There were great luminaries on the drafting committee. Dr. Ambedkar is remembered as its pilot. Give reasons for this. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar framed the fundamental rights, keeping the Indian situation as well as what he had seen in other nations in mind. Okay? His expertise and experience were at the forefront when he framed the constitution as its chairman. Though other luminaries like who? Aladi Krishnaswamy Iyer, K.M. Munshi and N. Gopalaswamy Iyer contributed their might. Undoubtedly, Ambedkar was the mastermind behind the constitution and is considered its pilot. The constitutional advisor B.N. Rao helped Ambedkar when it came to the task of explaining the complicated legal concepts to non-legal people in layman's language. Lot of people helped him. There was a lot of influential people helping him, but the pilot was B.R. Ambedkar. The next, question number 4. Write a short note on Dr. Ambedkar's idea or perception of the 3 pillars of state. What were the 3 pillars of state? Ambedkar knew the importance of the legislature, obviously, the executive and the judiciary in their framework. So the legislature, executive and judiciary are the 3 pillars of the state. However, he also knew that their power should not exceed the fundamental rights of the citizens. They should not be given the whole authority. There should be no scope for tyranny. The importance of citizens should never be overlooked. There should be no scope of cruelty. The importance of citizens, that is most important, should never be overlooked. That is the most important thing to be looked upon. Question number 5. What are the significant observations of Dr. Ambedkar on the constitution? What did he observe so much? Ambedkar's observations on the constitution are that of the constitution is a fundamental document. Firstly, it is the fundamental document. This fundamental document on the one hand records the power of the 3 organs of the state. Now I hope you remember the 3 organs of the state, the executive, the judiciary and the legislature, and on the other hand it upholds the rights of the citizens, so there is no cruelty on them. Question number 6. Nehru chose Dr. Ambedkar as the law minister. What might have prompted Nehru to do so? In recognition of Ambedkar's legal expertise and vision of social justice, Nehru chose Ambedkar as the first law minister of independent India. Nehru was impressed by the fact that in the case of Ambedkar, it was not merely a theory of social justice, but also the fact that Ambedkar was an activist fighting for social justice. He saw his talent, that he was so committed for fighting the social justice, the depressed classes, correct? So, we have finished the part 2 also. This chapter is a very long chapter. Please revise para by para, and I will come back with lot of paras next and we will finish the chapter. Learn these question answers, finish the part 1 and part 2 and then go to part 3. Take care. I will see you soon in the part 3 video.